My mother, along with most everyone else I loved, didn't even know of my marriage. I told even fewer I was moving to the LeBaron's Mexico homestead. We, Verlan and Charlotte and I, didn't consider it safe to tell. Besides, by keeping it secret, I avoided all the subversive "I told you so's" I was sure would have greeted my news. Still, how would I fare in such a strange place with only these two to care about me? That in itself was no given at this point, that either of them would really care. One was the husband I barely knew, the other was the wife who had him first. As the gloom crept over me, I pressed a hand against my fluttering stomach and tried massaging the knotted fear within. I determined to concentrate on truly pertinent worries, like making it through the next 24 hours until I arrived in El Paso and crossed over the border into Mexico. Since my every step now was an act of sheer obedience to God, perhaps I could presume He'd protect me through it all. In the meantime, I'd have hours to pray for the strength I'd need to take the next steps. Oh, God, help me to be unflinching in this sacred commitment I've made. The din of the vibrating bus motor eventually lulled me calm enough to look at my fears a bit more objectively. I'd been trying hard to be brave, and in that I'd largely succeeded so far. I never much lacked for courage. But my fundamentalist Mormon faith taught wives to be sweet, patient, and above all, never, ever jealous. I had to be honest. It was not simply the prospect of seeing my new husband again that spawned my dark cloud of worry. More than anything else, I dreaded moving in on the wife who'd staked her claim to him 2 years prior to mine. In truth, I'd barely claimed him yet at all. And though I was livelier than she was and quite determined to fulfill him, just how was I going to get my fair share of him with her always around? And help me to be sweet, patient, never, ever jealous. I told myself I should be thankful she was no stranger to me. She was my half-sister, after all. Somehow this didn't help. I still felt like being selfish, and I'd felt plenty bad about feeling it. God commanded our people to live plural marriage or be damned forever. The revelation came directly through the prophet Joseph Smith in 1843. I reveal unto you a new and an everlasting covenant. If ye abide not that covenant, then are ye damned. For no one can reject this covenant and be permitted to enter into my glory. Doctrine and Covenants, 132:4. Polygamy was a necessary sacrifice we all had to make in order to attain godhood and avoid hell. So I'd been told. Yes, I'd been told it and told it and told it. As the bus wandered past still familiar fields of brown and green, I wandered back through my childhood in search of the words so persuasive to me. Perhaps they would persuade me now. Book 1. Called to be a Goddess. Chapter 1. As we were growing up, polygamy was the ruling tenet of our lives. This celestial law was so integral to who we were and what we were trying to accomplish that most often we referred to it simply as the principle. Everything else we were to do or not do, be or not be, a great deal as it turns out, was ancillary to this. Men were to have as many wives and as many children as they possibly could during the few years they walked this earth. It was upon the conclusion of those trying earthly years that we would all reap the divine rewards for our obedience to the principle. As children, we were not just taught to honor the principle, we were taught to claim it as our birthright. We were born into it. No conversion was necessary. You are God's chosen ones, His special children of the covenant, we were told at home and at Sunday meeting, during visits to and from friends, and in all the literature we were allowed to read. We consequently viewed with great suspicion the few strange souls who occasionally tried to join our ranks from the outside. More likely than not, they were mere deviants,